What I'm going to show you today is how to improve the saturation of a photograph. You're probably wondering, why not use the vibrance or the saturation? Well, I'm not going to go into the how and the whys. Let's just say this is a better way. And if you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open. Now, if you watched my last video, there's tons of ways you can open up images in Photoshop. Going to computer, I have got my photos under photos, and I'll pick a nice wee photo animal. This is a wee picture I got in Glasgow town centre. It was a drum shop, and I thought this was quite good, so I took a photo of it, and it took me ages to get rid of the reflection. I had to go out and buy one of the, you know, the polarising type filter things. Anyway, we're not here to discuss polarising filters, we're here to discuss how to increase saturation. The normal way you would probably do it is go into image, down to adjustments, and down to vibrance. Now here's your two sliders here, so you can increase vibrance, right, gives you a lot of colour, but if you notice here, there's a lot of blowout with the colour, you lose a lot of detail, and with saturation it is even worse. If you can see that, it looks dreadful. I'm going to show you a way which is super cool. First of all, you go into image and we change the mode to lab colour. It asks you here, changing modes can affect the appearance of layers. Don't flatten. I'm in lab colour now. Now lab colour is known to give you better colours and such like. Just take my word for it, it does. So I'm going to go into the curves now, so that's Control and M. In the curves palette is slightly different from the RGB colour mode. Instead of red, green and blue, you go in here and you've got lightness, A and B. Lightness, we don't want to touch that. Go into A. Now what A is, if you move this in here, like so, that's your magenta, and if you move this here, this is your green. Exact opposites. Like, I'm going to expand this a wee bit and click on this wee box here, and this will give us the finer resolution grid. What you do is move this in here like so, and if you look at the image, went a wee bit more magenta, but don't worry about that, it'll all be sorted by the time we're finished. And go in here and move that. We've increased magenta and the green content. We go in and select our B channel and do the same again. Now if you look here, that's where yellow, and we look there, that is blue. So we do the same again, and there we go. Doing it in this way, it gives you an exact amount of all the colours. If you only do it with 3 out of 4, you'll get odd colours, so you have to do it the way I've showed you there. And then what you do is click on OK. If you look, we've increased the saturation, but look at this here, we've got a lot more detail. If we done the exact same thing in the RGB mode with saturation or vibrance, you wouldn't have that sort of detail, so it doesn't make a big difference. Just to finalise, the last thing we do is go back into image, go down to mode and go back into RGB. It asks, don't flatten or flatten, I just flatten it. And there we go, we've increased the saturation, we've kept our detail, and it looks really good. Now if you left it in lab mode, if you went into filter, most of these things would be greyed out because a lot of things doesn't work within the lab colour mode, and there's a lot more things you can do with the lab mode, and at a later date I'll go into that.